Hello and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Monday 24th of March and I do apologize, it's a little bit late today, but I've been traveling and just got in the door, so I can do this very quick update on the market. And today we'll start very quickly look at Tesla gapped higher this morning here, or at the opening in US, testing resistance 269. I think it could break up to around the 200 moving average, which is around 284, 285, possibly up to around 300 level in a strong bounce here. If it's being rejected here, 269 starts sliding back and closing this gap here, that would be key, closing down to the closing price of 248. Well, then the downtrend will resume. The Nasdaq 100 also bounced and opened higher, opened above this little resistance here, or consolidation area here. So it bounced back. I think we could here the next couple of days could see it at 38.2 at the 20,325, but then I think we'll see a setback after being rejected at 200 moving average. And S&P 500, yeah, that was a different order. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit jet lagged. Opening just above the correction range here, or consolidation range here, currently testing the 200 moving average. I think we could see a push up to around this resistance here at 5,783. Dow Jones also jumped higher at the opening, almost very close to testing the 42,518 resistance. Could push higher maybe. RSI, it has to be said, it's still a negative sentiment. There's no divergence, so maybe it's just a jump. But let's see, at least follow the money. And this is buyers are coming in and buying some cheap stocks apparently. European markets has had a quiet day today. Almost unchanged here in the afternoon. European time just above 5,400, so the picture is really still the same. We are in a consolidation phase. I want the RSI to get back above 60 threshold before I call the bullish trend to resume. The DAX index has this maybe a double top like pattern here. If it takes out that, well, then we're looking at 24,000. But for now, we're also in a bit of a consolidation area here with some strong supports down here around 22,148, just a little bit above that. If RSI gets back above the falling trend line and back above the 60 threshold, well, then I think we'll see uptrend to resume. But for now, we are in a little bit wait and see mode. Euro dollar in a correction phase, as we talked about last week, that it this behavior could be unfolding, and I think we'll see a push down to 107.60, 107 and a quarter, where we have the 200 moving average giving some support, and the 38.2 retracement. Then we could see a bounce. So keep an eye on this level here. I think we will be down here fairly soon. Sterling dollar also in correction phase, didn't get all the way up to the resistance here at 130.5. I think we could see it setting back down to around the 128 level, where we had the 200 moving average giving some support. We have euro sterling that is being pushed lower, and I think we are very close to the 83.50. We could actually see a push below the cloud and to the 83.20, which is the 61.8 retracement here. So it will be interesting to watch what will happen here around 83.50, 83.45, because we also have the 55 moving average giving a little bit of support, and the 21 also, and the cloud area here. It's not that strong, but still it is there. And still positive sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, but if it does close below 40 threshold, then it is back in negative sentiment. Dollar yen, well, now it's finally breaking out of the falling trend line here, actually closed above the trend line, upper trend line here Friday, falling through. I think we'll see it push up to 38.2 and 151.25, the 200 moving average coming down there, so I think it will give it a hard time getting much higher than that. RSI could also be rejected at the 60 threshold, so that would be key to watch what will going on there. Can we close above here, and can we close above here? But for now, the bounce is fairly strong towards 151 and a quarter. The euro yen also bouncing a bit, trying to get back above the falling trend line here that it actually broke above, then got hammered back down to the 38.2 at 160.60. just below 161. If it can get back above, close back above, which I believe it could, because we actually do have the RSI strength indicator is still in a positive sentiment, so it is indicating a likely higher push towards 165. Aussie yen could be building an uptrend here. We have this double bottom-like pattern, but didn't really materialize at first go, and we can see that it got knocked back down below this valley here. So what will be key the next couple of days? Can it actually get its mojo back, or if it starts sliding back below the lows here from last week at 93.14, 93.10, I would say, and the RSI slides back below 40 threshold, well, then downtrend has resumed. But we could see a little bit of a bounce continuing here next 2 days. Sterling yen seems like all the yen pairs actually they are in a bouncing mode. Sterling yen, I think we could see a test once again, the resistance there just around 194.85. Where we also had the 200 moving average, really giving it a hard time there, but RSI positive sentiment, so I think we will see it have a go at it. Maybe that could break it and push it above 195. Aussie dollar, well, still in this range we've been talking about for so long, so it's just boring, I would say. But we eventually, I think it will give one way or another, and it's not that clear, the range here between 64 and 62 area. It's not that clear really. So I will. I don't know where I would put my money if it was me. You can argue that we are above the cloud. The RSI is negative, that it counts to the downside. So I think I will leave it that. I really need something to build upon for Aussie dollar to give me something. We have dollar Canada still in the correction mode here, just above the rising trend line here, just below the cloud, but positive sentiment on the RSI is indicating we should see a push higher, and also to test this 145.5 area here once again. But it is also a little bit in a limbo, but above the 100 moving average. Sterling Canada in a correction mode. I still believe we could see it down to 183.75, 183.45, which is the 32 retracement in this area here before I think we'll see a bounce again. Euro Swiss also in the correction phase. We could see it slipping down to 95, but still positive sentiment on the RSI. But there's a bit of divergence. We see higher closes here than over here, but lower RSI than here. So it is a little bit of limbo also, but I think it will push higher because we have the 55 moving average coming up. We have the 100 coming up. So despite the fact, I think it will bounce from around the 95 level. Dollar Swiss sideways trading. If it can break above 88.65, then I think we'll see a push to 89.25, maybe a little bit higher. But then we have the 55 moving average coming down. The 100 also giving a little bit of hard time here. If it slides back below and takes out these lows here around 87.55, then downtrend is set to resume. The dollar index trying to bounce here. Could bounce up to 104.65, which is 38.2 retracement, and then I think maybe it's also that, because then we have also the 200 moving average giving some resistance. Gold, I think it's in correction mode, at least down to 29.71, which is the 38.2 retracement of this uptrend here. It actually did almost test, what are we at here, low, just a spike below 3,000 actually on Friday. But the trend is still bullish, but weakening. We have RSI in showing divergence. If we're looking at the weekly chart, we reached the 200% of this correction here and the triangle breakout. So maybe we should have a little bit of a setback. Also, you can see there's divergence here. RSI values to be declining. So we are in an exhaustive trend that is exhausting, but it can still push higher. So be careful. But I think we will see a correction at least here the next few days. Silver also in a correction, dipped below 38.2 Friday. But closed above, so we are still around this $33 here, but I think we could see a correction possibly down to the 212, which is a 61.8 retrace, and then I think it will push back. We have also the copper that has actually spiked almost to the 520, sorry. So strong uptrend there. There's no divergence, so I think we can remove this one. Looking at the wheel chart, there's still no divergence here. Well, maybe it's building up actually. It's building up a little bit. We can see this RSI value there is actually lower than here, but the close here last week was higher than here. So it is a little bit stressed and exhausted. I think we could still have another go to take out this 520 resistance. Let's see, 520 we didn't get all the way though. I still think we could see a new high before a correction. On the energy side, and WTI crude oil, it's pushing above the 38.2 retracement and resistance here at 68.45. Could push higher, possibly up to the 70.45 level, 61.8 retracement here shortly. On the Brent crude oil, also above resistance at 72. I think it could push up to 73.78, which is a 61.8 retracement. The Dutch gas or European gas, well, yes, last week it actually closed above the minor resistance there, so we are in a correction phase, bouncing phase, but now we are still in this range. So it doesn't give a really strong signal at the moment. I think it will slide lower eventually. Henry Hub, the US nat gas, opened lower this morning, but back to around $4. So I think maybe that's it. It needs to take out 370 to establish a bearish trend. On the yield side, well, the US 10-year Treasury yields basically sideways here around 430, 425, 430. I still believe we could see a push up to 440 where we have some resistance. Sorry, I had a little cough coming there. Where we have some resistance, maybe up to 444, which is the 61.8 retracement after, and the 55 moving average coming down. We have the 100 here, so that will put a lid on. That will be a really strong resistance area and around there, 440, 444. The 2-year basically just sideways here, not really much going on, so not much to say. But let's move on to the European yields. We have the EU 10-year yields. I still believe we could see a 272 retracement, but maybe not, because it seems like there's some really strong support at 275, 1, 2, 3 days in a row last week, and this Monday it's actually bouncing. So if it can't take out 272, then I think we will resuming uptrend here. At the UK, that bounced towards the end of last week. Resuming uptrend, I think it could see a push to 480, possibly 492. On the crypto side and Bitcoin, establishing a bullish trend, higher high, higher low, higher high. I think we could see it push up to around 90.5, 91,000. Key will be, can we get the RSI back above 60 threshold? Well, then we could actually establish a bullish trend that could take it back higher. Ethereum knocking on the door at 2100. If it can break above the 2100 and the upper falling trend line here, well, then there is actually potential to 2500. We do have the 55 moving average coming down, but 2500 is in the cards. All right, that's all for today. That was a quick and short one. Me being jet lagged, I hope you can forgive me for that. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a nice day.